Hello, and welcome back to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Whoa, whoops. We're gonna continue where we left off. We still have like 3 places to fully explore in the present. So let's do that. Let's go to Sunshine Coliseum first. Present day Sunshine Coliseum.
Well, this is a blast from the distant past.
Long time no see, Mr. Valen.
Just a second. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm gonna change some settings. Don't be. Okay. So if you refresh now, it should be fine.
"7 years has it been? Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again."
Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you.
"I've spoken to the press. I've got nothing more to say."
I've spoken to a lot of people myself, and I've come to some conclusions. But then I realized I need to hear it from you.
McNeefy Gramarye.
"I have walked a difficult road these past 7 years."
Because you couldn't perform McNeefy's repertoire?
Don't be deceived. Valen's skill is the real deal. I do not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who slowed me on my way.
Zack Gramarye?
His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. Or so I thought.
Zack Gramarye murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you?
I remember it as if 'twere only yesterday. Yet, that was not the way of it in the end. For a while he vanished. The suspicions upon my own person never did. His partner Zack vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said.
I had no idea.
Yet the very same press comes to me now, feigning interest. They cover the greatest magic show in the history as if it were a vaudevillian distraction. And here I must stand, smiling at them all. What am I, if not a player in some fiendish farce?
I suggested it's because you never made it clear what happened. McNeefy's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here to get the answer from you. God damn it. I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later.
The audience has no business stepping upon the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight.
Okay.
That sounds an awful lot like something I heard 7 years ago.
McNeefy's death.
Ask what you will, you'll get nothing from me.
I'm as much a part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened.
For 7 long years, I have endured. Now, finally, the curtain lifts on my new golden age. But all the miracles of our troop within my grasp.
Sorry to do this, Valen, but right now I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. And I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this.
And what might that be? I see it bears the Gremlin seal.
I should have brought this to your attention sooner, but I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comebacks quite so fast.
Thank you so much for the host console pit. Thank you.
What is this?
A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magnifi's miracles.
What? Zack Grammari? He wrote this? What? He passed everything to his daughter?
Trucy Enigmar, actually, she's officially my daughter these days.
Preposterous! Zack is gone! Vanished into the void!
Hi, Travis. How are you doing?
This is the genuine article. Zack was alive when he wrote this.
It's her uncle. Thank you.
Both myself and a notary can testify to this.
Wah! Why does fate toy with me so? Why must my life be lived enthralled to the dead?
You're not the only one with that problem.
But he shot Magnifi, yes! It was Zack, it was! And then he left, and my career as a magician fell into darkness.
Did you think there might be some way out of it? So if you could prove Zack Grammari shot Magnifi, was that why you testified?
Yes, my way out! It should have been my way out!
Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Valen. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magnifi Grammari?
Can I... Diary? Seal on the back. The ripped out page. Now I see that everything has been set up. Also, I would present forged evidence to the court. Let's see, the page. IV report. No fingerprints found. Whew, that's a good question. Huh. I don't know. The Amazing Mr. Hat? Alessa? Nah. No. I don't think I have all the evidence.
The only question that this evidence can answer is, who here is an idiot? And it answers you, Mr. Wright. Must I suffer such indignities even now? Ah, the life of a magician is a life of toil.
A signed confession. Even if the confession is a fake. Oh. So... But that was fake! Yeah, maybe, or like Xenoblade Chronicles, something like that. It's signed, but fake. I don't know. Maybe this is... No, I don't have it. I may not have enough evidence right now to pull this off. Maybe it's time to do a little more legwork. Okay. And search. Let's go to the Borscht Bowl Club. I still have to do this. The Grammar secret. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. The first time I saw her do it, it blew mine. And after you were done having your mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use the resources at hand. I always say, Cracker Jack. Yet I myself have no such power. But Trucy does. Why's that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother? Thalassa Grammar.
I will not speak of that.
Thalassa is officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. Street Fighter EXE. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna check that out right now. Because of this. The three of you were a team once. Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. Yet, there's another story behind the fame. One that not many know. Thalassa lost her life during a rehearsal. To you and Valiant Grammarai's bullets.
It was an accident. It wasn't me. How could I shoot my dear Thalassa?
I'm sure Valiant would say the same thing. Well, it's just like another murder I might mention.
Damn you! Her eyes. I loved Thalassa's eyes. To think they could read my mind was frightening. Yet there was a warmth in them that felt like an embrace. She is dead, and Magnific Grammarai has joined her.
So the only one with her power left now is Trucy? Mr. Zack?
I do not know.
I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else, someone other than Trucy. Someone who inherited Thalassa's power.
How would you know? How would I know?
My chances are slim. It would take a miracle to learn the truth. Or maybe one has already occurred. There is someone else with the power, and I know who. It's Apollo Justice.
This boy?
His name is, I forget, something weird.
Who could he be?
An attorney.
Attorney?
I noticed him when I went to visit a friend's law offices.
So, what are we to make of this, oh great ex-attorney? You can show me pictures of strange boys all you like, but you could at least say something like, I'm this boy. I'm this boy. I could use a laugh.
Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalassa. Actually, it's more of a ring.
A ring?
Perhaps this will refresh your memory.
I just so happen to have evidence showing this missing link.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Thalassa was her second.
How did you know this?
Her first husband, he died a year after they were... He died a year after they were wed, yes?
He was a performer. They met when he joined us, Grammarise, as a guest in our show. After Thalassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you say she had a child then?
I have a photograph of her here. I couldn't help notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. Those bracelets stand out.
They are Grammarai family heirloom.
This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in this picture.
What? So, that's why.
Why what, Mr. Zack?
I took this photo of Thalassa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet.
I bet I know where that other one went.
She gave it to this boy, her son.
Nice. Unlock successful.
This strange power, I myself do not know from where it comes. Yet the fact is that it is passed down the Grammarai line. It runs in their veins.
What is it?
I asked her, Thalassa, once. This is what she told me. A power responds to tension in others.
Tension?
If she were to face a person and they became tense, even slightly, then she would know. No matter how hard they tried to hide it from her.
So she could see it?
Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. She wouldn't realize that she was subconsciously detecting this tension without the use of a particular object, or in her case, objects.
Objects? Wait. Were they something they wore? She wore?
Yes. A bracelet.
I admit, the first time I saw one of those, I felt there was some more to it than just a fashion. But what kind of power could the bracelet have?
I have made a decision. I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift.
Oh, nice. Well, I hardly need you to tell me at this point, but those two
are brother and sister, yes. And the brother, too, has this power of theirs.
Petrucci has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that.
What? Mr. Wright. Tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. I would not see her live her life without knowing.
I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right.
I am in your debt once again.
No kidding. What I want to know is how all this got to be so messed up.
Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth.
So they're temperature sensitive or something?
Yes. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of their wearer's wrist.
And this has something to do with the power?
What have I told you? The Grammarai power reacts to tension in others. When the Grammarai senses tension, they too become tense. And this tension translates into a minute contractions of the muscles. So minute they cannot sense it on their own.
Their muscles? Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for.
With a bracelet on, one can sense these contractions. Because the bracelet is always a perfect fit.
So when the person they're watching gets tense, the bracelet feels tighter on their wrist.
Precisely.
But that alone doesn't really count as mind reading.
I believe I understand how the process works from here. It's a simple question of eyesight.
Eyesight? I guess that sounds simple enough.
Have you ever heard of kinetic vision?
Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right? I've heard of it before. They say athletes can see a moving ball like it was stopped in if they focus.
Oh, but it's not confined to sports alone. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face, and the meaning that lies behind it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before one may distract it.
So basically what you're saying is, the Grammarites can see really well?
For them, seeing is more than believing. It is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus.
Things are starting to come into focus for me too.
Of course, it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But what if someone could tell you when to focus?
Or something.
Precisely.
But wait, Trucy doesn't have any bracelets.
You are talking about poker, yes? The timing of when to focus is so elementary, she probably does it without thinking. I doubt Trucy herself has realized it. That is all I know of things Grammari.
Thank you, Mr. Zack.
If this boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long, thereby awakening his power.
I'll keep that in mind. Well, shall we play a game?
Ah, I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I will tell you of that night.
That night?
The night my mentor, McNeefy Grammari, passed from this world to the next. There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was McNeefy's test.
A test?
In his last years, McNeefy Grammari worked us to the bone. No, to the pain. But that night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead. This, it seems, was the correct answer.
Take this. I give my art to you, Zack.
What?
It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zack. Though I would not have minded dying by your hand.
How could I shoot you? You're my mentor.
Ah, I thought you might say that.
If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then?
Then, of course, I would have given Valent his chance.
And if I had shot you in the forehead, instead,
that would be over. If you or Valent were to shoot me in the head, then I, to the darkness, would go, and my art with me. A fitting end, don't you think?
Ah,
That this ending too gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zack. And I'm sorry I have done much that was wrong in my day.
Oh. It seems to me that McNeefy wanted you to be his successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Valent's.
perhaps, but it is not something we will ever know for sure now. I wonder, what is Valent up to these days?
Waiting for you to die. If 7 years pass like this, the performance rights go to him.
Ah, and now here I am, and his dream is ended.
Ja, ga home. It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know.
What? You don't mean to tell me they've put the blame for our mentor's death on him?
The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zack. There were even rumors that Valent helped you to pull it off.
But that's madness! Well, seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, I have one more act to perform. Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated? Even though I'm dead?
That night, Zack Grammari was killed. He died as Shady Smith, a mysterious traveler with a secret past. He left one thing behind before he parted. This. His confession, to use as I saw fit. Of course, he killed no one. This was his way of tying up loose ends with his old partner, Valiant Gramarye.
Okay. We'll go back to the Sunshine Coliseum, because we now have our evidence. Okay. Let's skip through this. Whoops. What might that be? Wah! Who really killed Magnifique Gramarye?
I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Zack Gramarye wrote one more thing before passing on,
This! But this is a confession!
in which he admits to the killing of Magnifique Gramarye. See? All according to your plan.
I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. I fool the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yet it seems the tables have turned. Now I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself.
Zack wrote this right in front of me, after I explained your situation to him.
Alaka! Alakazam! You do know that this confession is nothing but lies?
Yes, it is my opinion that Zack Gramarye killed no one.
Then you must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. Two received instructions to kill, but if one is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty.
That would be the logical conclusion, yes.
So he vanished to protect me, his partner. A steering tale, 'tis true.
Did you shoot Magnifique Gramarye in the forehead?
If I had, and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will. There's nothing left for me now. It is true, after all. I have little talent. I need my mentor Magnifique's repertoire. It was as if a little demon grabbed hold of me.
I knew it. So Valiant Gramarye did kill the great Magnifique.
So sorry, Mr. Wright. But it was not I who shot my mentor.
What? But if it wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there?
Another disciple? Such as?
I don't know. Knack and Talent Gramarye, perhaps?
Your wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zack and Valiant received those threatening letters. But there was another. One more person could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you figured it out by now?
If it wasn't Zack or Valiant, who shot Magnifique?
There had to be the only other person at the scene, which means...
Wait, you don't mean...
Yes, the great Magnifique Gramarye himself.
Ooh, the old music. Nice.
So Magnifique Gramarye committed suicide?
You find it hard to believe?
To be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility.
When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him. But when I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me.
So he spoke with Magnifique Gramarye?
Yes, and this is why I knew what he had done. Magnifique transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner, Zack Gramarye, not me.
I see. Then I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it.
You owe me no apology.
Huh?
My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder.
What? Your crime? Is Valiant Grammari confessing something to me? What could be more serious than murder?
You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. There are no secrets between partners. It was easy to find out. That was when I understood Magnifi's plan.
He wanted to die by one of your hands?
Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. The little demon whispering inside my heart.
The demon?
Let me confess, I had intended to shoot Magnifi, and I planned on framing my partner for the crime.
What?
That night, I prepared something before going to Magnifi's hospital room.
Which was...
IV fluid, of course. I had seen it on an earlier visit. If Zack did not shoot, it would do the deed. Then, I would use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan.
But you didn't shoot him.
I could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came. But then, Magnifi called me back. I am sorry, Valiant. I am giving my magic to Zack, not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please, help him, if you can. I left the room, and then I stopped. The shock of what I just had been told consumed me. That is when I heard that fateful gunshot.
Magnifi Grammari killing himself?
Then, the demon awoke anew within me. Zack killed him. He was the one. Frame him, and the magic will be yours. I altered the scene of his suicide. I took the pistol from his hand, wiped off the prints. Then I used the syringe to add the IV liquid I brought.
So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. Magnifi died and you framed Zack for his murder.
As planned, indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I had anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed, truly?
That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe, but...
Yes?
I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Valiant. Thank you.
It is I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision.
You're going to turn yourself in?
My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. And as my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts.
I understand.
I thought my life was ruined by a dead man. But I find I was wrong. For Zack Grammari was alive.
Well, not anymore.
And now it occurs to me, what if he was not the only one who survived?
What do you mean?
You see, now that I think about it, I realize that we never saw proof of her demise. We never saw her body.
Her?
The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies, forget this matter. I can only hope that the day will come when I again meet my partner Zack Grammari. Then I shall apologize for my terrible mistake. I'm glad we had this chance to talk. Thank you.
Zack Grammari, Shady Smith, whichever name you prefer, he is no longer with us. The truth revealed in that trial was only a sliver, and the impenetrable darkness that remained has taken another life. I knew what I'd have to do to push back the darkness for good, and it would involve paying that man a visit.
To Solitary Cell 13.
Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied.
I see. Do you know when he'll be finished?
Well...
I should give him another voice that sounded like too much like Valiant.
Could you go find out?
Certainly, sir. Please wait here for a moment.
My apologies to the guard, but there's something I need to see. There it is. The yellow envelope. And the sender is Drew Misham. I was right.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at the crime scene. At the crime scene?
If this is the last letter that Drew Misham wrote, then there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here it goes. Let's see if this Ectroconan spray finds anything.
It does.
So this was Drew Misham's messenger of death. It was this stamp, all right. No mistaking it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. Gotcha.
The interview request came, like you said it would, and they're looking into the case. I swear on my life I won't tell them about you. So please, release the spell you've put on my daughter. I'll write later with a report. Drew Misham.
What's this? A burglar? In jail?
Gavin!
I didn't know you moonlighted in Lost City, right?
Gavin, there's something I have to ask you.
Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. My apologies, but there's not much I care to discuss.
Vera Misham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin?
There are no known survivors of Ectroconan poisoning, but it never hurts to hope.
Okay, I'll be leaving now then.
Right, wait.
Yeah, Gavin?
Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private.
Oh, sorry. Forgot I had it.
Many thanks. Ooh.
We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now it is time. Every story has an ending. We've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can.
To be continued. To the final trial. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll see you guys in about a minute.